Welcome back, Soul Tribe. To those of you new to my channel, welcome. Let's check the vibe for today. But before we do, let me start by thanking and calling on the divine and the Archangel Michael, protector of truth and light. Stand before me, behind me, and beside me. Surround this space with your blue flame of protection. Remove all negative and deceptive energy. Allow only truth, clarity, and divine guidance to come through. I thank you for guarding this reading, so it is. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Now, Soul Tribe, let's go ahead and begin your reading. Now, remember, remember, Soul Tribe, this is a general message. If it does not resonate, please do not force it to fit. If you want a one-on-one, please check on my bio. You can contact me. Let's have a conversation. But remember, this is general. Do not force it to fit. If there's parts of it that resonate with you, great. If not, let it flow or let it go. Let's check the vibe, Soul Tribe. Spirit, spill it. What does the collective need to know? Well, I guess we're starting off with you need to know a lot. All right. There have been rumors flying around in your circle, possibly about the person that's in your energy. They've been learning some karmic lessons, collective. Yes, and so have you. But your authentic vibes always shine through. There's a silent understanding between you and your person. You don't have to be in constant communication with them for you to know what's going on. You communicate with them telepathically. But your person wants to clear the air. There's something unspoken between you. There's some misunderstandings. There's things that they need to get off their chest. Okay, protect your heart, collective. Protect your heart. Okay, you've been hurt. You've been going through a lot. And this person really put you through it. And it's time. I don't blame you for having your guard up. This person is trying to bridge the gap. All right. You might have had differences between you, whether social or maybe family differences, cultural differences, the way you were brought up. But this person wants to close the gap between you. Tell me more, Spirit. There's an unexpected revelation coming your way. It might be some shocking news, so keep in mind, you know, there's going to be something and it might shock you and knock you off your feet, so be ready for it. A revelation you did not know. Okay, it might change your perspective on things. Tell me more, Spirit. There's going to be some lies exposed, okay? Expect the truth coming out. The person in your energy has been playing both sides, collective. Okay, they're trying to appease two people. Let's hope it's just two and not three or four, okay? They're playing both sides, and that's why they've made it complicated. More complicated than what it needs to be. All right. More complex than it seems. So there's more below the surface, beneath the surface that you do not know. Tell me more, Spirit. What does the collective need to know about the person in their energy? Tell me more about what the collective needs to know. Quiet contentment. This person thinks about the companionship and everything that you did together and all the peace and satisfaction that you brought them. because right now they're going through hell. They're not at peace. They're not content. They want the silence. They want the sunset. They want to just sit with you and just not say a word because there's silent understanding between you. They don't have to say a word for you to know what's going on. Tell me more, Spirit. Listen, there's doubts on the surface. This card wanted to come out. In their inner circle, there, there's talk, and they're being excluded of some of it. Because remember, rumors are out, but doubts are surfacing. Okay. Someone's trust in you is starting to waver. I don't think it's you. This is them. And that karmic that they're learning the karmic lessons from, they're starting to doubt them. Yes. And the reason why they have these doubts in them is because they have these unspoken desires, and the karmic knows that it's not for them. They have unexpressed desires, and the desires are for you, collective. But in the meantime, they were playing mind games with you. Okay, and there was emotional games and interactions involving control and back and forth, and now they're going through conflict because they know it's time to make a very difficult decision that they have been stalling, and they have been at a stalemate because they did not want to make. They're jealous. And look, mixed signals. They've been sending you mixed signals. They are jealous. They have control issues. Okay, they might have been affecting your relationship, but the mixed signals between here and there that didn't help. They were very unclear and very confusing because they love mind games. But you know what? You don't. They were manipulative. They were manipulative. They thought that they could keep control. You are a person that spreads positivity everywhere you go. You radiate. And they're actually jealous of this because they're not like that at all. They had unmasked, they had motives which are coming to the light now. So some people's true motives are beginning to surface, and you will see them. You will see their motives. Tell me more, Spirit. What does the collective need to know? But adventure awaits, collective. That's right. So wait for it. New adventures, friends, and in a possible new relationship or in your inner circle. You have a very supportive circle around you that you can count on. People who truly care about you, who love you, who support you no matter what. And this gives you freedom. This gives you love. This gives you what your person did not give you with this mixed signal mind game bullshit. But I will tell you, I understand that there was a push and pull between you. There still is, because even if some of you may not be in contact, there's still a push and pull. Because there is something that just you can't get away from. So it's a hot and cold. But this hot and cold dynamic, the coldness caused distance. Okay? And the hot and cold push and pull, it did cause instability. And you can't be in a relationship that's unstable. And it caused distance between. Things got cold. You can't have a relationship when there's coldness. That doesn't work. They're testing your friendship because this person, collective, you were friends before you became anything else. You were friends before lovers. And your loyalty is being tested. How far will you go to keep it to yourself? But more importantly, why is it that You have to keep it to yourself. What is it that they're trying to test? Why loyalty? They're intrigued by you. They're intrigued by you. And that keeps pulling them in. They can't let go. Tell me more, Spirit. But there will be breaking news, a surprise revelation. Again, that's the second card, that you will be receiving news, revelations that are going to shift your perspective. Because remember, they want to clear the air. And these two flew out too. Look, what? There's a confession coming. Someone is about to confess their true feelings for you. This person never told you their true feelings because they kept playing games with you. But look at this shit. They kept doing a love triangle. What did I tell you about the karmic? What did I tell you about the karmic? They're learning karmic lessons from this person that is also in this triangle with you. And that's why you have to protect your heart, because they put you in a third party situation which you do not deserve. You didn't belong here. They put you in a place where you didn't need to be. They needed to make a choice and they haven't made it. But they have to. It's a hard decision, but if they don't make it, you know what? You did. See, the problem is, collective, that you were supposed to evolve together. Okay, joint evolution. And the problem is that both of you went your separate ways. You were supposed to evolve together, grow together, to be supportive of each other. And instead, they put you in a third party dynamic, and now they want to confess and they want to tell you how they truly feel now and have always felt for you. This unspoken desire, this flame. Tell me more, Spirit, about what the collective needs to know. They're surrounded by drama and bullshit, okay? And they want change. They don't want to stay in that toxic circle. And this has caused the distance between you and your relationship. And it's temporary, but it hurts. Now, someone's had a hidden agenda, and it was the karmic, okay? They have a hidden agenda, and their agenda is to make sure that your person did not come towards you. Keep them occupied. Keep their attention away from you. But that push and pull, that's why there's a push and pull. That's why they gave you the cold shoulder. Okay. They test your limits. How much are you going to put up with before they are forced to make a decision? They're keeping appearances in this relationship with the karmic because they don't want to destroy what they have, the foundation that they have built. That's what I'm getting. So they're keeping appearances. They don't want to rock the boat. So they're testing their limits, both with you and with this karmic. In the meantime, they're keeping you a secret and they're guarding you like a treasure. But you are gaining new perspective and new insights. Okay, you are gaining new perspective from all this, which is going to lead you somewhere else, to those new adventures that await. In the meantime, they're holding back. The other person is not being fully open with you, and they are overthinking everything because now they know that they have to come towards you and tell you something. Their thoughts, their emotions, they're overwhelmed. They're tangled, overstimulated, overthinking. They want to trust the process, but they're keeping you a secret that's keeping them in this karmic loop and this overthinking, worry, and anxiety. But collective, you need to trust the process, that whatever will be in divine timing. And you are making new alliances of support. And you're having opportunities come your way. Be ready for unfiltered truth, raw emotions from this person. They're going to come to you. And when they come to you, be ready, because it's not going to be all nice and thought of. By the time that they get to you with this overthinking, they're just going to spill it out. Spill it out. This person has had bad influences around them. Okay, negative influences, very toxic energy. And now they're risking exposure, public exposure. But the truth will be uncovered, collective. There will still be unspoken tension between you until the truth is uncovered. But unfortunately, there will be a risk of public exposure. And unexpected news is still following you. It's going to be unbelievable. Look at they're pretending to be fine. The cards don't lie. They're pretending to be fine. They're appearing stronger than what they really are. They're falling apart. They're very vulnerable inside, but they're keeping this facade up, this wall. And you feel betrayed. You feel betrayed. Tell me more, Spirit. Again, they're pushing their boundaries. You put your boundaries up, okay? And they're trying to test it. How far can they go? How far will a collective let me go? What will they let me get away with? Yeah, let's get some tarot. Let's get some tarot, collective. Let's get some tarot. Let's get some tarot for you. What a mess has this person created? What a mess. But that's okay, because you know what you have to do. Yes, you do. You're moving on up. Spirit, spill it. My goodness. King of Swords. The energy of the person that is behind this mess is ready to come your way. He's ready to fight for you. They're very impatient. They're daring. They're very daring and assertive, and they're going to come your way with the sword up. They're ready. They're ready to fight for you. Tell me more, Spirit. You're the Queen of Cups, baby. You're compassionate. You're warm. You're a healer. Your intuition is on point. And you're very supportive, and that's how they see you. Queen of Cups. You give a lot of love to everyone around you, and you're very supportive. But collective, there's a big tower moment. There's a big tower moment. This person is going through chaos, and everything around them is crumbling. Yeah, but there's going to be a sudden change, and it's going to be all of a sudden. They're not going to see it coming. 7 of Wands. They feel that they always have to be defending themselves against others. They feel that they have to stand their ground. And you have to stand your ground too. And let it be known what you want. Not what they want, what you want. 8 of Cups. Someone's walking away. Someone's walking away from all the chaos. Now, this person might be walking away from the karmic, or you might be walking away of this whole shit show. All right, you might get tired. You might have gotten tired of all the bullshit. So even if this Knight of Swords is coming toward you, you might be walking to calmer waters, because you're done. You're walking away. If they're not coming clean towards you, you are not willing to tolerate this drama anymore. You're walking away. Tell me more, Spirit. Queen of Pentacles came out in reverse. This karmic that's with them, They're very bitter. They're angry. Okay. They're not generous. As a matter of fact, they're very avoidant and selfish. They are. And they're very insecure. And they want to waste their money. Yeah. They're very money hungry. They're very money hungry. They rely a lot on your person. Remember, flip and switch the roles as you see fit, okay? Ace of Swords. You are receiving some much needed clarity, collective. There is truth coming to light here that you needed to see. And you are cutting through the bullshit. And there's victory behind that. You're going to triumph. Clarity. Truth and clarity. Three of Cups. They put you in this third party dynamics and you're seeing right through it. 10 of Wands. This person is carrying a lot of burden and stress. They're full of anxiety because they know what they put you through. They put you through that third party dynamic that you didn't deserve. So now they're carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of guilt. They have a lot of responsibility and obligations on them. This is why it's not easy for them to walk away. But you are their wish fulfillment. You are their happiness. You are what they want. You are their emotional stability. You are their home. They want harmony with you, collective, with you. Right now, they're in the Five of Swords. They feel that everything is conflict, disputes. There's aggression. There's conflicts all the time where they are. And in the meantime, baby, you're the badass Queen of Swords. You're honest, you're fair, but you know what? They got to come clean. They got to come correct. If not, don't come at all. You're objective, but you're very independent. But now your boundaries are up because of all this foolishness. Your boundaries are up. You're not tolerating bullshit anymore. So while they're over there fighting their battles, you have your sword up and they know that they can't come to you with bullshit anymore. Queen of Swords. Badass bitch. Badass bitch energy. Seven of Cups. This person thought that they had a lot of choices. All right. They're an indecision. They lived with their heads in the clouds, collective. Okay. Five of Pentacles. They feel that they're going to suffer a great loss if they walk away. And that's the real struggle, collective. There's a loss either way because they're losing. If they leave that situation, they're going to feel great loss. But guess what? They also feel that they are in great danger of losing you. And that is their struggle. They know that there's a choice to make, but there's a lot of indecision from their part, and they're being avoidant because they don't want to make that decision. But you know what, collective? Let me tell you something, and this is the hard truth. Being avoidant and being at a stalemate and knowing that you are at a crossroads and you have to decide on the path to take, and being avoidant and not choosing the path, you know what, baby? That is making a choice. Remember that. That is making a choice. Remember that, collective. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. And I feel that you need to know that. Temperance. They want peace. They want tranquility. They want patience and harmony. All right, that is what they desire, but they desire it with you. And they desire it so much because right now it's battle after battle after battle after tower after tower. Everything is crumbling around them. The only thing they want is to have this peace, this temperance, balance. Someone who is patient, kind, loving, gives and take, reciprocity. They don't have any of that. They need temperance. But there's a lot of illusions, okay? And there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of secrets. You know, they're keeping a lot of secrets from coming to light. There's a lot of mystery though, because the moon illuminates it all, and there's a certain mystery about the moon. So it creates illusion, but it also reveals. And what it's revealing is that you are their sun. Collective, they came out at the same time. I get chills. You are their sun. You are their joy. The sun rises and sets with you. And the moon keeps them waiting for your arrival. Okay. So whether there's a lot of confusion in their life and they keep their head in the clouds, okay, and they're uncertain, there's a certain mystery and clarity that the moon does give them. So within their confusion and their illusion state, they also see clearly that you are their sun. You're their happy place. How beautiful is that? The sun and the moon living in harmony. Death. There's transformation. There's going to be, the universe will not let this continue the way it is. They are at a standstill, at a stalemate right now. The universe says, no, either you handle this, you stand up for business. If not, I'm going to make sure that it happens. So there is transformation coming. There are endings, okay? Karmic lessons learned. There's transitioning, but there's also release, collective. There's also release. There's transformations coming. Circles closing. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Pleasure, everything that they want. The Chariot in reverse, there's obstacles in their way. Okay, they want to get to you, but there is progress is not being made because they're holding on. They're holding on. There's blockages. They can't get to you. Not yet. There's blockages that need to be. They got to get rid of the blockages before they come towards you. They need to learn the rest of the karmic lessons. They need to make sure that everything is taken care of before they move swiftly toward you. So there's blockages. Okay. There's justice. Of course there are. There's karma playing out. All right. There's consequences that they need to face because this person has been avoidant, and that's the problem. Now they're facing the music. All right. They're facing the music because they cannot live a double life. And karma will have its justice. All right. But they're the King of Pentacles. They are abundant. Okay. They're secure. They're very practical. They're a father. They're reliable. Okay. You can always count on them. But they want union with you, baby. This King of Pentacles wants union with you. But it's time to make a decision. And they're planning. They're planning because there is a path that they need to choose. And there are 2 paths. And time is running out. Time is running out because karma is playing out. And remember, there are changes coming. There are changes coming. And this flew out over here. 2 of Swords. Remember, the fork in the road. They're at a stalemate. They're stuck. They're in denial. They don't want to make this difficult choice. But the universe is going to say, bam, either you make it or I will make it for you. There's changes coming, whether you like it or not. So if you stand in the middle, lightning's going to strike by you. And you know what? You're going to have to run in one direction or another because you cannot stay stuck. There's a difficult choice, and the universe understands that. But they're going to light fire under their ass because they have to make a decision. They cannot stay at this crossroads any longer because they're going to risk losing you, which is what they want. 3 of Wands, looking ahead with confidence. They foresee the future. They're planning mode. Tell me more, Spirit. Six of Pentacles. They want reciprocity. They want give and take. They don't have that where they're at right now. Okay? They want to give, but they want to receive. They want this balance. They don't have that. They'll have it with you. They fantasize about having this give and take with you, this reciprocity. Okay, the Six of Pentacles. Even keel. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, there's movement, and they want to come in fast. They're going to make a quick decision. There's going to be a sudden change in direction and progress that you're not going to see coming because it's going to come fast. It's coming fast. Might be the news that you're waiting for. Four of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles, he's very possessive. All right. They want to keep hold of their earthly possessions. It's hard to let go of the foundation that they've built. So they're holding on. So while these tower moments are happening in this chaos, they're holding on. They're holding on tight. That's what they fear. They fear everything crumbling around them, so they're holding on. They're holding on to the walls, hoping that the foundation, that the house doesn't crumble. And what they don't understand is that it's going to fall. The tower, it's going to fall, whether they're holding on to a brick or a block, it's crumbling on top of them. That's what they don't understand because they are holding on tight. They don't want to let go of their foundation. But transformation is coming. They're not going to have a choice. The Hierophant, a card of tradition. They're married. They're married. And the reason why it is so hard to let go is because they're in the institution of marriage or a long relationship. And they have worked really hard to build that foundation. And they worked hard at their craft, their jobs, which has helped them build their foundation. But Seven of Swords, they're being avoidant and they are hiding and they've been deceptive toward you because while they had this other life, they wanted to have you in the mix. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too. But again, there's conflict and there's competition. There's a lot of tension. They feel they can't speak, but they're in conflict with their ego. They want something, but they can't have it. They want to say, but they keep their mouths shut. But they're in competition. Someone might be coming in, and that's what they fear. Four of Swords. They want to take a break. They want to just run. They want to take a break from all this chaos. They need rest. They feel like if they're in a pressure cooker. They're doing a lot of self-reflecting because, baby, what they are reflecting on is that you are their star, their hope, their everything. This is what they keep their eye on. They're keeping the eye on the prize, and you are it. You are their hope. You are their star. Yes, you are. Well, Soul Tribe, I really do hope that this message has brought you clarity, the clarity that you need to make your decisions. Soul Tribe, if you want a one-on-one with me, my information is in my bio. Hit me up, contact me. Let's have a conversation. Until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. Like, subscribe, and share this message for someone that you know this might resonate with. Until next time, Soul Tribe, keep it real.